Cam, how was it for you, buddy? How was it?
Yeah, it was good at the end.
A very
So-
strong performance there, mate. Well done.
Yeah. What were your tactics throughout the race? I saw you assisting quite nicely.
Yeah, it was. I tried to in the bunch because at the top of the hill, someone kept sort of attacking, which we had to close up. The last lap, I just tried to go for a bit, but just didn't have it. It was really fast the whole race, and trying to just control it all took it out of me, really.
Fantastic. It was a great performance, as usual. And I saw you using your power-ups. But was there anything you think you could have done differently there, or was it?
Probably gave the aero power up for the last lap. I used that a bit too early on the cobble climb, but all in all, it was a good race. I think I might have changed whether I'd sat in a bit more than I did, but it's the way it goes. You can't change the result after it.
No, absolutely not. And you have a very attacking style anyway, so I wouldn't expect anything different from you. Particularly having watched you race a lot of mountain biking and cyclocross. So, is this what you're going to aim for next year? Another good cyclocross season.
Yeah, I'm gonna prepare for next year already. Got the training in, but we'll see how things go. What happens with the virus and everything. We're hoping to get some racing, road racing next year as well, but we'll see how everything goes.
Yeah, well, it's certainly made a good start, and I don't think you can never get too much training in. So it's it's been very good to watch you race today.
Yeah.
As I just bring Cam into the stream, well done, mate. Must be pleased to pit Mac there.
Well, yeah, he was driving the creek the whole time for me, so I think it was fair enough that he was a bit knackered towards the end. The power he was putting out the whole way.
Yeah, we certainly have a high watts per kilo throughout that race. Yeah, was it just the plan to just sit in and or are you really clanging on there? Not that they look like it at all, but
Well, I bit of both. I think I'll say that I was sitting in, but realistically, it was a bit more of a hang on. To be honest, for that drought, it was a bit of a smash the whole way. There's not really any rest the whole way around that lap, because the only really downhill bit is over those rollers, which you've got to keep momentum or you're just going to lose wheels. So it's quite tough.
Yeah, it's a bit of a course for everything. How do you find going after cobbles every lap?
You definitely, I think the max gradient of that is, what is it, about 5%?
I think it tops at 6, just for the top.
Yeah, so it definitely kicks up, and then as you go around the corner, like around the left-hander to 90 degree, it flattens off a bit and goes up, but you can't really push on at all because you just got to get momentum to go onto it, just as if you were riding on cobbles, really. But there's definitely more resistance than if it was actually just a 6% tarmac. Definitely different feel. But obviously you're not bumping up and down a lot, but there's definitely a difference in resistance on it.
Yeah, so you were just pipped for the sprint there. Is there anything you think you could have done to get just half a second quicker?
Yeah, I mean, so going over that cobble climb, it definitely, everyone was on the limit going up that, and then as you go over the top, it kind of flattens out, plateaus over before you get to the rollers. And as we were going over that plateau, we were like lapping riders and stuff. There were C's. I think there was a group of C's that we were coming past.
Yeah.
At that point, and whenever you got overtake a group, lap a group, it always splits because people always see that kind of time to go ahead, and obviously it was the last lap anyway, so it definitely split there, and I was a bit back. So when I started my sprint, I think I was in about 10th, or I was towards the back of the group that we were in that sprint the whole way around. So if I'd have been further forward at that point, then I reckon I could have, because I was coming past riders as opposed to getting overtaken at the end. So if I'd have been in a better position at that point, then I might have been able to be half a second ahead of where I was at the end, I think. Yeah.
Just saw that your heart rate peaks at 198 beats per minute. How do you train for that to go that deep?
To be honest, that's the deepest I've been on Zwift. On Zwift, I think before my peak in a race was about 193, because it's a lot more of a time trial effort where you obviously go anaerobic towards the end, but not that deep. But today was just because it was such a lead in. The lead into the sprint was so heavy, so hard. So the heart rate was already high. It could then in the 200 meter sprint, it could go higher, as opposed to starting at 160, 170, and then going up to 190 or 185. Gives you the opportunity to go higher.
Yeah, it's been really good to see. And how do you get the consistency? Because your results the last 2 weeks have been absolutely phenomenal.
I've got a couple of. It's annoying. I've got a couple. I keep getting second and third. Not had a win, but I've only had Zwift a couple months now, but I'm really enjoying the racing aspect to it, because it adds a competitive aspect when at the moment there isn't otherwise a competitive aspect, and that's always something that, for me personally, I know for a lot of people, that makes training a lot easier if there is a competitive element to it. As you say, you can push your heart rate higher, you can get higher power zones and everything, so it's definitely great for that kind of training. So I think the tactical aspect of the Zwift racing is so different to real racing or anything you can really stimulate outside or even in training on Zwift. So the way that you can push into those races, like as you were saying during the races, the timing of power-ups is so critical, especially towards the end. Like in that race, for example, you had the opportunity of 11 power-ups in the 12 races, in the 12 laps.
Yeah.
So the point when you do use them definitely comes with practice. So the first month I was doing Zwift races, I was not in the front group at all of A races, and now I have the opportunity to be up there in the sprint. So definitely the tactics of it and the practice of doing 2-3 races a week definitely comes into play.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very nice.
Fantastic. And did little birdie tell me that you've got a new coach?
Yeah, I'm in crown coaching now, which is Kyle, you can see. It'll be really good to have some structure to my training. I think I've never had a proper coach before, so that kind of side of things definitely hopefully see me be able to get my power up, my heart rate up and everything, so get the most out of what I can do from now on with my cycling, so it should be good.
Fantastic. Kyle's had some good results, haven't you, Kyle, with your coaching? Your team have come on really well, haven't they, mate?
The boys work really hard, actually. I'm really impressed with all of them. I asked them to give 100%, they give me 110, so and I'm quite pleased to take Cam on board. He's a promising young lad. He kicks the coach's ass in the races, which is where it should be. So if I'm beating my athletes, I'm doing something wrong. But if they're beating me, I'm doing something right.
That's a good shout. And your other rider came in. I think he's going to be one of the first of the Bs anyway. Simon, how was? We'll bring you into the stream now, mate. How was the race for you?
Yeah, not too bad. Started off quite quickly trying to hold on to the A race, and then noticed that there was quite a few ringers in the B race. So settled into my own rhythm and just tried to stay with that main group of Bs and just stick with it, really.
Fantastic.
Yeah, certainly an interesting. The race went off so fast. Was there any? When did you decide to drop back, or was it more just you clung on for as long as possible to the A race?
Just tried to hold on to it, and naturally, when it went, I wasn't going to make an effort to try and get on the end of it. I just let it naturally break, and then just not ease off. Just keep my own power up and I've worked to sort of 4 watts per kilo, trying to stick around that sort of figure. The sort of know my own capabilities, really.
Yeah, like I said in commentary, not going anaerobic too early.
No, bearing in mind, obviously, commuting today to and fro to work as well, so there's a few miles in my legs today.
A good example how not to go anaerobic too quickly is to do what I did.
But
It was quite nice to come up behind the coach though on my final lap.
Oh, it's like a long bit of plastic was dangling out, ready to be smashed.
yeah, it's been certainly entertaining watching everybody, and really interesting how everyone's had different tactics. Some have raced it much more like a time trial, whilst others have gone full gas and tried to cling with groups. So I think it's been a really interesting way to spend a Friday evening. We get to see some. So is that 25th overall for Psycho there? And 26th for Kyle? Looking at the Zwift power there on the screen. It's just even looking at all those numbers is quite eye-watering. The 4 watts per kilos, it means they've been producing power that, when divided by their weights in kilograms, gives you a number of 4. So if you weighed 100 kilos, you're putting out 400 watts of power, and that will give you 4 watts per kilo. So these guys are well below that, so they're producing on average around 300 looking at around 350 in the A's, and just over 300 in the B race, which was just holding that for any amount of time for many men morsels is pretty difficult. I would say the average wattage that somebody puts out recreational riding is around 100. So that's the same power I'm putting out at the moment. So it's incredible to see just how long they're holding these eye-watering power outputs, and just how hard some people can push their hearts. Which
it is crazy, and you'll always find at the end of the race that's when your best efforts come in, because you're not concentrating on you're not looking at your data, you're just looking at the race, and you will dig deep to stay on the back of the group.
And I think I've just seen somebody that weighs less than Mac.
That's
so
not possible.
I think there may be a TQ in there somewhere. So
Mac, of course, is 13 years old. If you're used to the stream.
Weighing less than Mac and putting out much more watts, and putting out a tremendous amount of watts there. I might have to try that next time I go on Zwift. Of course, I won't do that because I'll get disqualified.
One person we haven't heard from, Lee, is your microphone working today? I know we've had some sound issues before. How was that for you, mate? You're fairly new to Zwift, aren't you? You've been digging your heels in, saying, no, I'm not doing Zwift, but you're quite enjoying it now, are you not?
Yeah, I was a bit stubborn, Rob, as we've discussed previously. But today, for me, my screen, for some reason, I think it was when I was putting my phone away, went to look at somebody else, which wasn't ideal. Someone in the group I was in, I think. So by the time I'd rectified that, a couple of button presses, that group was a little bit up the road. From there, I was in a lonely place for quite a while. So that was pretty much my race. I think at that point, it was just getting around to the end.
And that's it. Once on Zwift, once you lose that group, it's impossible to get back, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Pretty much.
It proves that riding solo isn't too bad even on Zwift.
But you'll pick up a group. There'll be a group that come behind, and there's always racing for you somewhere. But it's just you're not gonna keep with the front if you do drop off. For a mechanical, we'll call that a mechanical then, Lee.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Well, good job, everybody. That was a really good race. I think the stream held up well. Thank you, everybody, for viewing us, and I'm sure we'll get some more people viewing it subsequently as well. Our next race is Sunday. We are going to be It's a longer race, isn't it? I think that one. It's another Newbury Velo event. But join us Sunday, and we'll look at our social media for when we get that up and running.
We'll be back, won't we, to provide our inputs and our comments, and hopefully next time we won't miss the actual finish talking about what we're talking about.
I'm sorry, that was my fault, wasn't it? Here we go.
And
Thank
I
you.
did it yesterday. So,
We're learning. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Right, thanks everybody, and take care. Stay safe.
Thank you for watching. See you on Sunday.
Yeah, guys.